Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019 with the Rude Man. We're back on Simon Family Farms and we're into our harvest. The sugar beets are not ready. The soybeans way yonder, are not ready. The oats are, and the canola is, and we started harvesting the canola. Now, it was kind of a hectic start. I had a little bit of trouble with the GPS and the machinery, but we got it running. And we're going to start right where we left off. So let's get Andy here back down on the farm. Put him in there so we know where he's at. Sorry, Andy. And let's grab the combine here. Finish cleaning up this little hole back here. And see if we can make this episode a little bit less hectic from the last one. These fields really run up into the trees. Not so bad here, but up ahead they're really bad. In the long run, I do think it's still easier the way I'm doing it than to try to go with the contours of each field. Do a little OCD work here. All right, clean up, done, kind of. Let's just say it's never really done, but it's caught up for the time being. All right, we're gonna run up here and reset this. I'm gonna set it to go that way, and off we go. I don't think any of these fields are completely square. I mean, obviously they're not, because a lot of the fields are shaped like kidney beans and who knows what other shapes. There's none of them that are rectangular, and even if they were, they're not rectangular according to the compass. They may be rectangular, but they're not situated completely north, south, east, and west. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. So you can see that I do have the combine running north, south, east, west, as close as I could to the compass degree, but it's still off. The field is still off. So the edges are angled and there's nothing you can do about it. That's perfectly fine. I don't think any farmer sets his fields up according to a compass. I mean, they don't go out with a survey rig and say, okay, the line of this field has to go just this way. They plow what they can plow and plant what they can plant. Alright, we're getting close to being full again. Let's just stop it right here. We'll fetch our truck. And we're off. A lot quieter inside the cab, isn't it? Aren't you glad we have an air-conditioned cab with all that dust flying through the air there? Makes me want to sneeze. Man, I tell you, allergies are really bad right now. Adeline, you guys remember Adeline? She's my girl, and she's a teenager now. Good God, I can't get used to that. Yeah, she turned 13 September 7th. That's the day she started back in school. Now, her little brother, Jagan, he comes into the live stream every once in a while. I haven't seen him for a while, but he comes in every once in a while. I mean, I haven't seen him in the live stream, is what I'm saying. Obviously, I see him every day, but the poor kid, he's got allergies. He's got Carol's allergies. Carol has... Actually, I think he's worse than Carol. I thought she was bad. But the poor kid was just sneezing all morning. He just couldn't stop. Addie's got some allergies, but nothing like that. Hell, I've got allergies. I never had allergies when I was young that I know of. Of course, I grew up in a different area. I grew up in Washington State, It's a little bit different area than where I'm at now. So there's different kinds of things to be allergic to. Where I'm at, where it's wet all the time and there's trees, different kinds of trees than are in Washington State, somewhat. But the difference is, being on the coast, you have now you have molds to deal with. If you weren't allergic to dust or pollens, now you have an additional allergy if you do of molds and things, for mildew, that kind of thing on the coast. All the fishermen around here that have small to medium to large fishing boats, depends on whether they're fishing for salmon or if they're fishing for if they're crabbing or whatever they're doing. They have this, it's a stuff called, well, there's different names for it. One of them, a brand name, is called Dry Z Air. And it's a granular substance that you put in a little caged area above a pot. And what it does is it draws the moisture out of the air and it deposits it down into that pot. And so, every day, every other day, depends on how moist it is, but you have to go around, grab your pots, and of course dump them and replenish the dry Z air. But if they don't do that, everything in their boats are just wet all the time. So they put them in their cupboards where their food is. They put them in, smaller areas that to try to collect some of the moisture up, so that everything's not so damp all the time. It actually works pretty good. I keep them for my travel trailer. My fifth wheel has got 4 or 5 of them in there, and we go in every once in a while and dump the water out of them. If you don't, you get black mold, you get mildew, and terrible, nasty stuff. But it works very well. All right, how full is our 73% our bin is, so keep an eye on that. $81, 82%. Okay, at 85%, it gives you that beep, 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 beep to let you know that your bin's getting full. 85%. Wasn't sure. I thought it was 80, but we're at 90 already. So I'm going to stop right here, put our pipe out, and we'll call for our driver. Almost got the canola done. I'm hoping that we'll have enough money at the end of this harvest to buy some more land. 59 degrees out. It's 9:39 in the morning, early autumn. It's pretty nice weather for early autumn, wherever we're at here. I don't know. This is supposed to be Nebraska, I think. You know, I can't remember. I played too many maps, but I think this is supposed to be the Nebraska area. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I know you guys keep statistics better than I do, mainly because I don't really care. Not a big person on, you know, keeping information in my head that I don't have to know. If it's important, I can remember it. If it's interesting to me, I can remember it. If it's not interesting to me, I don't. And if it's not important, I don't remember things because I know how to find out. You know, it's like telephone numbers. I don't memorize anything like that because I know I can find them. Well, it used to be you had a telephone book. You just look them up in a book. People don't put their numbers in books anymore that I'm aware of. I mean, unless you still have a landline. Now, we do still have a landline, but it's an internet landline. So we have an internet phone, which is kind of handy. I mean, we can make long distance calls and anywhere in the world, and it just doesn't cost us any extra money. I don't know if you remember back in the day when you had just a landline, you had local phones and long distance, and you had two plans. You had a plan for the local, you know, local phone cost you a base amount of money, so much a month, and the long distance cost you a little bit for the long distance service. And then you had to pay for the time that you were making long-distance calls. So it could get very expensive. With internet, I can call anywhere in the world and it cost me anything outside of the amount of internet that I pay per month. It's part of my internet bill. And it's still very cheap. I think it's only about $19 a month for the landline phone. We keep it because we don't use our cell phones like other people do. I don't give my cell phone number out. Very few people know what my cell phone number is. Yeah, because we just don't use them. I don't carry my phone with me all day long. My wife never. She puts hers in her purse and it's always dead. We use the cell phone when we leave the house. That's the first thing I'll ask Carol when she leaves to go shopping or is going someplace. Do you have your cell phone? Yes, I do. Is it charged? Yes, it is, or no, it's not. And if it's not, I give her my phone because I keep mine. I don't carry it with me per se, but it's always close by me. I could always hear it ringing because, well, I shouldn't say always because, but it's sitting right here by me next to where I'm at. It's where I'm at, let's put it that way. I may not have it in my pocket and carry it with me all the time, but I do have it. Right now it's sitting right next to me on my desk. If I'm done working in the studio for the day, the phone goes with me to the living room and I set it, you know, close to the chair I'm sitting in. When I go to bed at night, the phone's sitting next to the bed on a nightstand. So it is close to me. Carol does not. Hers is in her purse all the time. She never carries it, you know, unless she goes someplace. And the problem is that it's buried in her purse, and so a lot of times she doesn't even hear it ringing. She doesn't really know how to use it. So she's not very technical on things like that. She has no clue how to even turn my computer on. She wouldn't even know how to turn it on, much less use it in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't interest her. There were times in jobs that she had a computer and didn't even know it was a computer. She says, I don't use computers. I don't know how to even use them. I wouldn't know how to use them. And I told her, Carol, you're using a computer right now. No, this is where we ring up things. You know, I said, yeah, it's called point of sale. It's a computer that has a program in it that keeps everything you need to do your job. I mean, it's still a computer. You may not be going on the internet with it and that kind of stuff. Well, she doesn't know it, if you know what I mean. But that's what I'm saying. She absolutely knows nothing about computers. She didn't even know she used one at work because she didn't think of it as a computer. But hey, getting back to the phone, that's why we keep a landline, because nobody has. I give my cell phone number. Oh, I guess I don't need to put that away because we're going to dump this. We are done with the canola, it looks like. I give my cell phone number to doctor's offices. If I had a lawyer or somebody that needs to get a hold of us. My financial advisor in Portland has my my cell phone number, but we don't use it for conversing with friends and family often. Most times people get a hold of us on the landline because that's always on, it's always here. If that's how you want to get a hold of Carol, but even then, she's not close. If she's not close to the phone, she doesn't hear it ring. But the whole point of it is, I'm not a big cell phone user. I'm not a telephone user per se at all. I mean, unless I have a particular thing to discuss. If I called you on the telephone, well, how are you? Well, I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. Well, what's the weather like where you're at? Oh, it's fine. What about you? Oh, it's sunny right now, and I don't know what to say on phones, and unless I have a reason to call somebody. It's like, what's the point? Tell me what the weather's like and what'd you have for lunch. I don't know what to say on telephones, so I don't use them. It just flabbergasts me when I see people walking through the grocery stores just yapping up a storm, and an hour later they're still talking. What in the hell are they talking about? See, I just don't get it. So phones just don't mean that much to me. All righty now, this is oats, so we're gonna turn the windrow on first of all, and then we're gonna get into this and kind of do, I guess, what we were doing before. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me turn the GPS off, and let's see. While we're getting into this field, though, let me jump out and check on the soybeans. All right, they're still growing, and I don't think the last I checked, they were about 80-some%. Yeah, 83%. They're kind of dry, which is good. The weather's been good as far as sunshine, so keep your fingers crossed. We'll get through this harvest just fine. Okay, I want to get through the field to where I've got a rectangle, and then I can start going with both combines up and down, back and forth, and let the workers take over. Okay, now I don't think that's my field. I really don't think that's my field. Let's see. Yeah, we're at the limit of my field right there. All right. Doesn't mean I couldn't lease that field, but I don't know if I've got time to do that much harvest. Although if I buy that field, I'm going to have the same problem, aren't I? Time. All right, we're coming up to a little breakaway here. Just kind of move around these trees. There's a lot of land here. The way this thing's all, cut up with the contouring, it's a little deceiving. There's quite a bit of land here. Look how far away I am from the farm. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Let's see if I can get out of this. Obviously, we're going to sell the oats because I don't have horses. I'm not making oatmeal. So I do need the money because I want to buy more land. So selling the oats we are going to do. Might as well clean this up while we're down here. Am I going to get stuck again? Come down to a quicker picker upper and clean this up. So there's big chunks of this field that don't have the contouring on it, which I might be able to go ahead and hire somebody to do. But I need to get the edges so that I've got room to turn around. So I'm curious how square this field is. I don't think it is. Let me turn the GPS on and flip it around and reset it, and then let's see how straight this field is. If you look down below at the compass, you'll see it's jumping between 360 and 0. North is 0. So 360 degrees is close to north. And so this field is pretty close to being, you know, north-south. It's off a little bit, I think, but that's okay. So we got our little beep beep at 85 to the load is getting full. Let me get this thing. Let's get this pipe out here. Get this thing situated. And I'm going to end the episode here. When we come back, we'll carry on. And hopefully I can get this thing squared up enough I can get both combines on the field and kind of double time up here. In the meantime, I hope you had fun. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.